Determined in today's close-up, the U.S. Marines, can you believe it? The U.S. Marines are banning the use of social networking sites like Facebook.
Well, David, the Pentagon is now considering doing the same thing. In fact, their reason, they say, David, it's security. And here's what was a written statement in a U.S. Marine memo. It said, quote, the very nature of social networking sites creates a larger attack and exploitation window, exposes unnecessary information to adversaries, and provides an uneasy conduit for information leakage. Well, a spokesman for Facebook says they're disappointed with the decision. Quote, no one would suggest cutting off postal service to men and women overseas, but what they're proposing is the 21st century equivalent. Strong words. Patrick Campbell is the Chief Legislative Counsel for the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Thanks for joining us, Patrick.
My pleasure.
I got to tell you, we've got people that we know personally who keep in contact with their spouses overseas through Facebook and Twitter and such. This is not settling well or sitting well with some of these families. What do we make of what's happening here?
Well, for a lot of people who are overseas, my coworker Todd Bowers is currently over in Afghanistan right now, and he's been sending us messages just saying, hey, I'm alive, don't worry about me, from Facebook. And a lot of times that's the only word we get for a month at a time. So for a lot of people, this is their only connection back home.
We got a colleague here, Angie Dorr. She gets to communicate with her husband, in 3-minute spurts, maybe even once a day, and it's online. And it's not just about the people we know, certainly, because you've got every branch of the military, Patrick, and I don't have to tell you, they've promoted in recent months the memberships in some of these social networking sites for people to communicate with their loved ones. So why now? Did something happen that we don't know about?
I don't think this is something new. When I was in Iraq, I kept a blog, and I was definitely, it's every service member's responsibility not to post operational security information on the web, and I think they were just trying to get ahead of the issue. But this is a great opportunity for service members to come together. We ourselves have our own online site for service members to talk about issues, just like the last segment that you had, about helping people reach out before they get to the end. We have a site, communityofveterans.org, where people can talk about their problems in a safe place with other veterans.
And Patrick, we have there on the screen General David Petraeus has 6,800 followers on Twitter. Mike Mullen, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, has 4,500. Presumably, they would have to give those up. I want to get back to your point that you made. Military members are instructed not to reveal information in any fashion. So, they could just as easily, if they're going to reveal information they shouldn't, do it over email, do it over the phone, right?
Right. I was just talking to my coworker in Afghanistan. They have personal cell phones over there. You can post this stuff. You just can't use the Marine computers that they provide. You can go to an MWR, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation tent and post it on there. So this is not in my mind, this isn't necessarily going to stem the flow of information. It's just not going to come from a DoD computer. But it is going to make it harder for those Marines and service members who are way out, not in these big bases, from getting the information out.
All right, Patrick, thank you very much for joining us. I know we're going to be talking about this. You've got people already saying, how do they enforce it? So many questions are still out there. Thank you, Patrick.